Hello everyone, welcome back to Portfolio Reviews. Today we have Pratham with us, and he's an environment artist. For the comments, he asked he's you want to be an environment artist, and you want to understand industry workflows and what type of skills are needed, and when for the entry level position, and yeah, so that's a good question. Yeah, it's also very general question as well. So first, let's see. In computer science, so surely you will be much more technical, which will come handy in environment art because you have many technical skills required, like substance designer, shader graphs, particles, and all those stuff. Blueprints are technical. So if you know, you can learn Python and you can focus on it. That will also help you get better at it. Okay, so any relevant experience you have, you were studying, so you can put that also, like you were studying from this year to that year. You can you can improve uh, your summary with more points and more things, and it should be just like your resume, and you can attach the link icons. Good, skills are there. Now let's go through the portfolio. Okay, so you created the landscape in Unreal Engine and use Pixel Bridge and you market. Yeah, it seems like I've seen somewhere this pack is one of free, I believe, in 1 month. Yeah, so it's 3 months ago. It's not that old. Uh, for the good starter, you want to be a level artist, which is good, but it's better to start from something small. Okay, and then progressing slowly to the larger areas, and we'll discuss a little bit more about this later on, but that's a good start to be having something very small. But you see, like this, you can clearly tell there are like 3 different layers are happening. There's this mountain and this small mountain and this front mountains, and nothing is blending in the start. So that is most important. Like, see this, why it is here. If you see the castles, how they stand on the surface floating, some rock seems odd, and I saw this floating rock here also, right? And that's the problem with the large landscape. Basically, things do not match. It's difficult to blend in things, right? And it's good you have a landscape and you try to create this mesmerizing thing, but work on composition. Right now this is like in the center, so study old paintings or study other artists work, good artists work, and just see how they compose the things. Okay, so then that will really help making things. Before even making things, just try to copy things. So you take a painting, maybe take a painting and use the same assets and recreate a painting, like or from old masters. That will be more challenging than creating from your brain in the start, honestly. But slowly, once you have built up some environments, it will be easy to replicate the thing. Nice, like here I like it, like how you're trying to compose things, especially this. So like it's the front, there is something, and then there is in the middle, and then you have a background layer. This should be like more in the back. It should be at distance like this, and then you have some tree here, some tree here, and then you see the thing. And why it's fallen down, I don't know. You could have made it standing up, and then the door is locked. It's totally fine. There's a good movie called Other Side of the Door, I believe. So which is a horror movie, which is really nice. It's based on the same thing. Basically, this is just a door, but on a certain time it opens to other realm. Yeah, yep. So this is nice. Like you can do this type of use the branches to point toward the main object, but this is like coming on top of it. You don't need to, just move it a little bit here, and then you can put another brush here, and that's also pointing toward the thing. Okay, and the lighting is falling on there, which is on point. That is making it more interesting. And you can add some clouds. It's looking so flat. You can add some skybox or something like that to make it look more interesting. Skybox, you will not see this weird mask type of thing. Yeah, so all your shots should have been thought through, like why you put the camera there and why you want it to, because from here it's you have to look more like what is there. So maybe from all angles, basically the door should be visible and something should be visible from there. Maybe if it was standing up here, okay, then it would make sense. Okay, this is visible here. Like here it's not visible. Maybe you're just trying to showcase the environment from other angles, right? Which is also fine. But you could have another shot from top, looking down as well. And for this is maybe glowing or what? It is looking flat in here, right? And it should be darker, like the shadow. And you can do put the plants on the thing like lilies or some other grass in the corner. You can do that to make it interesting. And also you can put stones, like stepping stones, to go into the central piece. Maybe that is underwater, but it's totally fine to make that stepping stones maybe here to showcase as a path. It's nice. You use blender is awesome. And yes, so you have these engravings which are getting covered by the textures. So maybe doing a treatment so our engravings are not that hidden underneath it. It's better to do it really smartly. And even this, like it like sliced here, this pillar should be like properly damaged. And if it's like chopped up like that, usually like they're in blocks, like they place blocks on top of each other. But if it's not, then those blocks will be visible here. Some lines will be visible here, that it's a block which plays on top of. Either it will topple off, like it will fall down, or it will break. If it break, then it will be like a little bit noisy and more organic than this flat chop. And I don't know whether the two size variations are there. Maybe it is the part of concept, but I don't know where this other piece of this side is there. If it was symmetrical, then this piece should be here also, which fallen down and showcased here, which is nice. And there is some stretching I can see here on the corners. Just watch over those. And for all these large surfaces, what you can do, you can use stylable textures with masks. So there is like detail masks. Basically you can pack the low resolution mask textures and then do the edge highlight and other stuff on top of it, which will be much better for this type of scene. But overall, nice try. I want you to break this apart and work more on it. Keep this detail and breaking details sharper, okay, and then use stylable texture and mask with it. And we have a nice diamond here. I like the idea what it is, but overall it's also last month. It's good that you are doing everything in Blender, but you can use ZBrush also, like if that is like can get you more detail. For overall the detail look muddy or like very soft. For the stone and rock and everything, we need a bit sharper details. Okay. Now for the scene, mostly it will be it's nice to have directional light rather than falling down, but it's totally fine if it's falling down also. The scale is really big for our thing. Okay, you made isn't that I don't think like, or you made it using geometry nodes. If you use ZBrush, oh, it's a concept art. So yeah, so basically, so you see the scale of things, right? So basically sometimes it's difficult to replicate the scale. Okay? You can go small in the start, you don't need to make larger things, but mostly what the concept art have some pedestals. Basically, all the people who do ritual here, they stand here and they do the ritual and they sacrifice here, maybe, right? Maybe that's what happening. And I see, you can see there is a creature coming out, so that creature comes out and eat the, you know, bait. And these doors are basically of the human size, and you like, and there's some angels and other statues are built there. So how you start, and basically you make all the blockouts, right, proper size, right? And then you rather than having this thing, you can use statues also, simple statues, right? Doing something as a scale, and you can put statues here, just like pouring something. And you try to add that it look like root, that is totally fine, that could be root also, and eat. But the scale and everything is just getting off a bit, right? So it's, so the larger the environment you have, it's difficult to manage the scale. So like this mat or carpet you have, which goes underneath here. Imagine the carpet comes here and go down, okay, and then it's burned a little bit from down, because it's fire is coming from there, so it's burned a little. So this carpet is mostly should be 1 meter or 2 meter, depending on what carpet you're making. So it should be relevant to the scale. So because for now it looks odd, the scale of this thing, and the walls are not even visible, and the walls have this large brick type of texture, which is too big for the scale of this thing. Maybe you use the brick cylinder, I don't know, you use brick here, cylinder here, or this brick, I don't know where you used it, but mostly this have a stone wall, right? So then the stones have a size, so that looks similar or relevant to the other things. If it's not, then the scale will have an issue, so which clearly we can see here we have some issue with it, and it's too dark, we're not able to see any detail and anything. We can make the out of things like what it is. There are doors, there is some bridges there, and something is there, but it's difficult to tell what it is. So now the humans are standing here, and the human sacrifice will happen here, so we have to look at this from that point of view, or that scale, right? That it is enough big. Okay, so yeah, so this is basically you first get the block out ready. So once you have the basic block out and you feel the scale, okay, then you add the other things. Okay, so all these things, even statues and these lamps and everything should be there in the block out. So once your block out is there, you run around in the game engine and you see how it look. Once it look right, then you jump into detailing. Otherwise it will mess up. Okay, nice. It's nice that you are trying different type of environment again in this. What I feel is that scale issue, right? Something is off. Like I can see some shading, hard shaded polygons here, and something is off for the scale. So mostly like when you have a scene, you have like large details and medium details and small details. Okay, so we can say these large panels and everything are larger details, like this door and this wall piece are large, and then the medium details are on top. Okay, and then the smaller details will be all those buttons and wires and bolts and everything, right? So these all should be in the harmony in there. So if it is not, then it will start to look odd if all the details are not matching here. Okay, so it will what why showing abyss, not even space? You could have shown the space. Basically what you could have done, like you could have taken this same door and put it on the other side, and this the corridor. Okay, and here I can see it's just shown some space. And why showing this screenshot empty? Attach something here. Maybe same door would have been nice. Okay, don't leave stuff like that. And yeah, in the concept art you see, right, how the scale is like, because sometimes the thickness of things and the camera angle and other things make it look weird. So like here look at the thickness of these things. Okay, these are proportionate, right, to each other. So when you don't have things like this, like some palm reader and this door have this smaller detail and these uh, what do you call, engravings, or this door will open, and depends on how it open. If it like open like normal door, like have hinges here and then open outwards, or if it slide in, it depends. Okay, but having, all these different details are related to each other. So you see the pipes are not there, these red pipes are too thick and too big, those are not here. But they have, like, see, these are like larger details, and then they have these panels which are medium, and then these are lines and smaller details also there. So you kind of make this one thing and duplicate it. Okay, and basically making modular thing, and seeing how if it work or not. And there is some space underneath it. You're working on the panel, which is good. You try to mimic it. You can use alpha mask with these, so you can see the flow underneath the pipes and wires, whatever is going on underneath there. Right, and this red is visible for the colors, and the other thing, it's like mostly metallic and which is not visible. It is metallic and something should be shiny. This is like concrete, maybe. If it's metal, the different type of metals right here, and people will walk on it and it will get polished with the footstep. So all this stuff is basically, the proportion is the main issue here. Scale and proportions. Other than that, like a good try. I like the intention is there, the mood is there. Okay, other than this abyss, I wish you would have treated this abyss better. And there's like overall the textures have too much noise, which is also making it look a bit odd. So this could tile more, and you don't need to give bumpiness or this gringiness everywhere. It should be in the places. Mostly it can be pristine, but if you look closely, there should be some surface information to break it apart. Okay, so that is the only thing we need to worry about. Mostly the sci-fi, you can use stylable textures and trims, and yeah, so that's it. I can see there's like hard surface shaded, hard edge basically visible, which does not look good. And even this pattern, right? So this pattern is not in the concept art, I believe. It's smaller, but your is like really big compared to that. So if things and textures are not proportionate to each other, it hurt the seal. And you can check the understand textile density and everything to get the scale of textures right as well. Okay, so this is I believe you have only 3 things, four scenes. Basically most of them, there is mostly one issue is that they are the proportions issues, and they're like not finished right to the quality. They are a scene, but like there's many things which can't tell, like they're like, if it's a composition wise should be good also. So we can take something from Megascan, from FreeSide, and we can just put them in the scene, and we cannot call it environment, right? This environment should tell a story, it should tell something, a vision or an idea or a concept. Okay, so what it is and why it is. Okay, so that's what our goal should be. Okay, so yeah, there is normally the keep up the good work, and if you're working on your environment right now, you can tell me if you need any help, and if you need guidance, you can reach out, and I'll surely love to help you. And from the skills which are required, right? So for now, you are still at stage 1, where you need to focus on proportions, composition, color theory, okay, and how to make an asset properly, right? Low poly, high poly, baking, PBR textures, right? And mesh, smoothing, topology, weighted normals, and UV padding, and tillable textures, and trim textures. So like all these basics, like trim textures also come later on, but all these basics, basically the scale and proportions which I can see, and the composition also. So these focus on these, and understand the baking pipelines, texturing pipelines, and model mesh topology and pipelines. Once you understand that, make props. Do not jump in and make a large, I know you want to make be a level artist, and you want to, right? But first understand these basics for to make a prop. Okay. And how you can do it, like imagine you have your this thing. Okay, don't make a whole corridor, make just this door, make just this wall. Okay, if I look at the concept art, don't make anything else, just make door. You will find concept art of just door or just wall. Okay, just make that, just make single wall, just make single door. And yeah, so that's basic. Just get the pipelines right to understand it. So if I talk about your other thing, for this, just make this platform. You don't need to go anywhere else, you don't need to make the whole environment, just make this platform, or just make the door, keeping in mind how big it is compared to player, and how big it is compared to each other, right? You don't need to make the whole environment, just make this platform. Okay, no need to focus on other things, just make a diorama, but make that small thing proper. Okay. And yeah, so that's mostly and you start with making just the pillars. Okay, make just the pillar, make it proper, like sculpt it properly. It should look same as the references. Sculpt it and texture it, add a little bit of detail, make it pristine, and just make it as close to the concept art as possible, right? And you can study megascan, and you can try to replicate it manually. You can look at the megascan pillars, and then make your own by sculpting and other things. So that's step 2. So once you have these individual props made, and then you make a diorama. Okay, and with diorama is like a small part of environment with multiple props. So once you have those, you make a corner of environment. Basically this scale of environment is fine, right? Or your space corridor, basically sci-fi corridor is also fine, but make it confined. Once you have environment in a corner, or a small environment, then go a little bit larger, slowly go larger. And but when you come to this big thing, and with this is basically the designer's role also come in, like what those areas are, how you will go there, what are the paths will be. Okay, what are the key point, what is not. You can study Witcher, like Witcher have like so many, it's open world, right? Have large levels, you can study that, do that. But mostly I will say just study the paintings if you want to do this. So that's like coming to this level is, it will take time. You just make few props, diorama, corner of environment, then a closed environment, interior probably, like this type of environment, or even this type of environment, like unspoken chamber. Okay, then you move to ruins type of environment, where you have like open space and larger area. And after you have made that successfully with the proper with this ruins environment, player should be able to run around. Okay, you make a path, a player come from one point or go to other point, there should be 2 points. Okay, maybe it is so simple, right? A path from forest which lead to this thing. Okay, and there's a path on the water, and it goes here from forest to here, very small path. Once you have that, then you go jump into more larger thing. Maybe this will not be accessible, only this will be accessible. You're standing here, okay, there is some mountain and stuff here, and you can see there's a castle here, there's a castle here, and there is a tower here, and there's a tower on top. Okay, and you have to win all the things. And then you can see this path clearly go from this side and go down, and then there is path going up, and you can see a clearly path coming, there's path coming from here, there's a bridge, and then there's path coming going up to this door. Okay, so that path should be visible from here. It's happen in most of the many level in the games, where you have to showcase. Okay, there's a player have to go there. Okay, then player should be able to get the path, otherwise open world, right? Player can go anywhere. but there should be a path which they should follow, and should be clearly visible, and they should know where should they go. So from here they know they should go here, then here, and then on the top of the mountain. Okay, and then top of the mountain will always be visible from all the points. Okay, the next point should be visible from each point, and this place should also be. It's the same as like you go to for the hiking in the mountain, that you can see the points, right? So it's something similar. So you make the path. It's not just about making the assets. Now it's about making the space. Okay, so even if you use simple boxes to make the space, right, simple terrain with simple cone shaped trees will be will be appreciated. That level design will still be appreciated if it's good. The paths are clear and the points are clear, the story is clear, so that's there. But that's like too big of a target for starting up. So this will be a long way to go to be environment art. And because it's different from company to company also, sometimes you have level artists who set dress the level. Also there are level artists who make the levels also, right? Set dressing means you have this castle and you place relevant props in there, right? So yeah, that's totally depend company to company, but I would say just start from small steps and take small steps, and just keep working on it, and surely you will gain all the skills required. But yeah, so no more further than that, you can reach out to me again if you have any specific question about your things, and I will always be here to help. And if you're working on something new, do share with me, and if you need any feedback. And until then, and keep up the woodwork, and take care and have fun.